Hi guys, I just recorded the video of me putting new SSD in here a few hours ago, and basically, so what you're gonna need is a MacBook that can run the software whether you want. It has to have some kind of USB port. You might need your charger if it doesn't have a high enough battery, because you're going to need to make sure your battery doesn't die. You need a flash drive, or you need a flash drive or disk to put. If your computer has a disk drive, which this one does, you can use a disk, but flash drive would be faster. I have a USB port on flash drive. Doesn't matter about what speed is, but you have to make the flash drive on OS X. So you put it into your USB port, like right here. You put in the USB port, press the power button, press options, hold options. Then you boot into the boot drive. I will basically stop it here and let it boot up, but once this bar loads all the way up there, it will be done. So you have to boot from actually there. So I'm about to go and get my charger. So I'll be right back. Once I be back, it'll be loaded all the way. Hi, so this is what it looks like. It loads, the bar loads twice on this computer specifically. So what you need to do is to go to Utilities, Disk Utilities, and then once it loads, you basically go to the SSD, and then you go to Erase. Then you go to Erase. Then you call it something. So I'm gonna call it Mac SSD. So Mac SSD is what I'm gonna call it. I don't know if you can see that. So it should be in Mac Extended Journal, GUI partition. Then you press erase. It will erase. Then after that, this is what it should look like. Then you press done. Then you exit Disk Utilities. Then you press continue, because if you get an error here, you're gonna have to change the date and time if you remove the actual bad battery thing, because I had to change the date and time once. So you press agree, install to Mac SSD, continue, and then yeah, so I'll stop right here and I'll start it again. And so yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is what happened. So I gotta look up that command again. So yeah. Hi guys, so before the last part I showed, what happened was, after I put in flash drive and then I booted the computer, this usually happens with like an older Mac, where basically the PRAM basically battery dies. And so this is an older Mac now. Well, it's 12 years old now. No, it's like 11 years. I think it's almost 12 years old now. I just use this mainly just for web searching and also watching Blu-ray because it runs Blu-ray fine. It runs Word documents fine. That's why I really use it for. I don't really use a laptop that much. I use this computer more than I use this computer, and I stopped using this computer because it didn't have an SSD in there. And I have tons of like actual hard drives, but I didn't want to use a hard drive in this system because one, it's already slow. 8 gigs RAM made it faster. SSD made it faster, and I basically stopped using hard drives in my main boot drive because of I noticed the speeds be different. I haven't used NVMe, but that's not the point. The point is, after I got it to boot, after I boot it, format disk like I showed you, it asked me to restart, which actually is which happens. If actually something happens with actually the PRAM, you have to reset the date. And I tried the 2020, but the same thing happened. You have to use this code right here. This is on my desktop, which is in the notepad, but it's date space -sign U space 071 1141 516. That basically means it's from 2016, and then it because that's when Mojave was basically got its last update, and basically with certain Macs you have to set the date to like the appropriate time for like with when it involves PRAM for like the date the actual computer supported last OS. So if you're running Mojave, you have to set up in 2016 because that's the last update, official update for like Mojave. Well, I mean the last update, the last update that wasn't a beta, like the official release, and you basically can't. What am I saying? I'm trying to say something. So what I'm trying to say was that's the official like 10.11.6, which is on this flash drive. That's when that was released. I had to set it for the time that one was released, which happened to be in January. I mean, that time right there, just put it into a number, put the number into a code, and then it will boot. Because if you use the latest date, it will say please restart Mac, and it won't let you install. And I know this because Apple has tried to because I couldn't get the Mac like boot BSG4, so they had me reset the PRAM and stuff, and so but then I lost date because I had an issue with actually my Wi-Fi and Bluetooth not working, and they said reset the PS RAM and the cable, which is above the actual DVD drive over here. That's where the Bluetooth is at, but I made sure that was actually plugged in. That wasn't the issue, but the funny thing is the Bluetooth, if the back is off and stuff, it works, but with it on, it gets no Bluetooth. That means there's something blocking it, and so I get no Bluetooth up in the corner up here. Right now there's no Wi-Fi either because I'm not hooked up to a network. But yeah, so that got it to work. You use that one I just read to like you. I'll just zoom in, and then you can pause the video right here. You can pause the video and type that into your MacBook, or as long as it's a 2013 or 2000. I mean, not 2013. I keep saying that 2009. Because I'm basically faking this first for actually saw someone because they wanted a new computer, and so I rarely use my MacBook anymore. I'm thinking about replacing it with a new laptop that runs Windows. Because of the only reason I have this is because it has a DVD drive, and I basically just been using it as a dumb DVD Blu-ray player. I have some Blu-ray software I purchased, and so I'm basically just gonna install. I have it on my time capsule that's literally under the bookshelf right there, and it's just being used as dumb storage basically. Yeah. So this says 13 minutes, but it took longer because I had to reboot several times. But as you can see, it's on 2 minutes right now. And so there's going to be another command that I'm going to show you for terminal for SSDs, because a normal Apple SSD, if you put a normal Apple SSD into a machine, it will basically you use APF, the Apple file system, and then you basically once you do actually that, and it's an Apple SSD, which I detected via its firmware, you will have trim enabled. But if you use a third-party SSD like the one I used, you're gonna have to enable trim yourself, which is basically trim force. Or I can show you the actual command. I'll basically pause it now and I'll get the command for you. So you have to open up terminal after setting it up, logging in, it'll restart. You just have to enable trim force, which is, I'll show you the command, 1 second. So hi, we're zoomed in, and so this is the command you use. It's called sudo trim force, which is basically you are registered as root, and then you type in your actual password after pressing enter. You type in your actual password, and once you type in your password, you basically you let it run. It will restart, and then you just disable, and then you just are done. And plus, your sudo password is the password you made for your admin account. So that will be set up here. So once you actually get here, you select your actual region, which I'm in the United States, US. Type in the actual the internet. So I'm gonna basically do that real quick. If your keyboard has a bad backlight, it will automatically be set. Don't like that on. Actually, it wastes its battery, so I actually use it occasionally. But basically, after you type in your password, you will basically be here. Get your information from like Time Machine, a Windows PC, or transfer no information now. I'm gonna pick actually the bottom one. Then you can enable enable locations. I'm not gonna do that. Don't use my Apple ID. I have an Apple ID, but I don't remember the password, kind of. So I'm just gonna use don't sign. Okay, so I don't remember how to do this. Let's see. Don't sign into Apple ID, and then skip. Okay, then you go to agree. Then you agree. I'm going to type in my actual username. All that. Let's see. So this password you see right here is the password you're going to use actually for your terminal commands. So press continue, and then after setting it up, you pick your time zone, which would be right here. So I'm trying to type in my time zone. So yes, I'm going to set my time zone to New York. Then not going to send any data because I don't need that stuff right now. Then you press continue. Your Mac will be set up. And then you get this. You'll get this. Then you go to the launchpad or whatever you're using. If you're using, but you need to go to terminal. Type in this command right there. Let's see. Sudo TRIME. Can't spell. FORCE. Trimforce. Space ENABLE. And then once you get that typed in, you press enter, type in your password. Type in your password. So after that, it'll ask you to type your password. It will be invisible. You press enter, notice, then you press Y for yes, press enter. This is okay, but it's telling you should make a backup, but since this is a brand new install, I really don't care if it messes up because I can just reinstall it. But it will tell you to reboot, and then you log in, and trim should be enabled. So yeah, so that's how you get a MacBook running with this is with the El Capitan, this is with the Sierra, High Sierra, Mojave, Catalina. If you're using either custom Mac or if you're using an older MacBook for running Catalina, Mojave with the Mojave patcher, or basically or other software that basically you're using an SSD in there, you still need to use TrimForce, which is the same as that command, which is enable TrimForce and enable TrimForce. So after that, it will restart. The computer will reboot, like so. And then you log in after it logs in. This is how fast the SSD boots with. This is how fast a Mac boots with like a cheap SSD. This actually was a cheap SSD. It cost me like $20. So yeah, so you get to your login screen and then you log in, and then you set up all your software like you usually do if you have a MacBook. If you don't know how to install software, I can probably show you that, but you just download, you just get the DMG file, then you double click it, drag and drop it into your applications folder, and then you're pretty much done. So thanks for watching. Bye. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.